G'day guys, so it's quite a simple video today. This is more a noob tactic. It's not going to interest those people with a large established tribe. So it's just going to show a simple way of breaking through walls when you don't have much on hand. So as long as you can get to a wall, and preferably a corner, you can get through it. So I found just an undefended noob base here. So I'll punch a hole through the wall and see what's inside. So all you're going to need is one IED. And place it as close as possible to the wall. And then what you want to do is crawl and approach it from around the corner, until you can just grab hold of it and pick it up before the timer expires. Now it doesn't look like it did anything, but what you'll notice is the wall's now damaged. So all we have to do is keep repeating that until we get through the wall. They don't do a whole lot of damage, so it does take a little while to get through metal, but it doesn't cause any sound, and it doesn't cost anything to do. Anyway, I'll speed this up. So I didn't manage to pick the corner with the vault right in front of it. I mean, you could get through a vault doing it, but that's going to take too long for me. I could keep letting the splash hit that other wall next to it, but I can't directly target that because it's too far away from the corner, and it's going to injure me every time I pick it up. If you do throw it in the wrong spot, you can just demolish it rather than pick it up, and you'll get it back anyway. It just won't do any damage. Anyway, rather I'll just go blow through the other corner. So there's nothing in the smithy. So whoever leaves the bloody smithy there. Well, his pick is better than mine. And who locks the fridge? So yeah, doors are the weakest point, but if they have a ramp there, it's too hard to get to without it damaging you. So I did genuinely feel bad about blowing through his wall and taking his pick, so I took him back an axe for him. I get no joy in blowing up innocent people's stuff. And you can have the IED too. So why not just make C4? Well, C4 is a lot harder to make for a noob. Or if you're Expedient and trying to put it together in the field. You can make an IED on an RG or in a smithy. And it's not much harder than a grenade, it just uses crystal instead of oil. And of course you only need to make one instead of 30 something grenades. So I'm going to go have a look around on the cross server. There's a wood building here. Obviously I would just bite through it with the wiring if I was doing this seriously, but we'll just see what the IED does to it. So I wasn't able to find a position on the triangular foundation where I could get it without damaging myself. So to spare my armour, I just went down to the square foundation. Where it's much easier to shield yourself with that foundation. What a lot of people don't know is wood's a lot more resistant to explosions. Much more resistant than stone. So you wouldn't bother using explosions, you'd use any tame or even hack through it with an axe. But again, it's a silent break and enter. So I had to fly around looking for a stone base. You can always find one somewhere. For some reason, noobs always want to make these massive stone buildings. So it's interesting that throwing the IED down wakes the Megalosaurus up. So like in this case, if you can't find an angle that protects you from the explosion, you can just try the other side. And you should be able to protect yourself quite easy. So as you can see, the stone's really vulnerable to explosions. It won't take many. Why is it that every noob without fail is always infected? I've never ever been infected by a leech. Anyway, I'll make an attempt here to blow some spikes up with LED. No matter what I tried, I wasn't able to get an angle where the spikes would protect me from the explosion. And plus, it's only going to take 2 anyway, so the second one is always going to blow through the spikes and hit you anyway. But as long as you have flak on, you can do it silently and blow their spikes up. You just have to take that hit. Anyway, so lastly, I'll just compare the IED to the grenade. So as you've already seen, the IED does 371 damage to metal. Whereas the grenade does 276, so the IED does quite a bit more. So that's 36 grenades you have to use to get through a metal wall, as opposed to one IED used 26 times. And verse stone, 2,879 damage. So you have to use the IED 4 times to get through a stone wall. Anyway, so that's a good noob versus noob tactic. Or if you want to be silent and blow anything up. So go and check out the other video.